101. And if it's your first time tuning in, my name is Jordan Obeas. I'm the founder of dayNumber.io. I've been documenting my journey for the last 301 days, and I go live every single day. If you want to see what I am building, actually check out yesterday's live stream. You'll see, I actually did like a demo. I wasn't walking, I was at home, and I was actually sharing my screen and reaching out to people. So something different I haven't done in a long time. Um, I know I did a couple of those before, but yeah, this one was like 2 hours long. But yeah, the topic for today, that I was talking about, that is in the title, is that when the best time is to start talking to users. And I would say now is the time, even before you build a product. Start talking to your ideal customer that you want to serve, right? I think that's one of the biggest things that helped me as well in building dayNumber is I started talking to founders, um, got them to use and test the product, the demo. Like once I had a minimum viable product, something that's usable, really, and that people can test, then I started getting like feedback, right? So, and that was like back in January when I had like something that I could test. It took me like a month to start building the prototype. Crazy because now I could probably do what I did in a month and a day on Quad. But I'm glad I built the infrastructure for the last 5 months, got people to test it, and on something that wasn't the greatest, but it had the foundational core principles of like what I wanted to put in the product. But I still talk to people anyways. Some people um, they want to wait till perfection before they even test it or try it out, right? You gotta have beta testers at least, like even like something that requires a lot of safety inspection and check and test. Like those people, like they do test, right? They have to, in order for something to be safe and workable and usable and reliable in the market, just like cars. They have to do a lot of tests, um, safety inspections, and all that kind of stuff beforehand, right? So there's no way they could make a car or something that, like even let's say rockets, like look at that. Like Elon Musk had like I think two or three failed space launches or rocket launches before their first successful one, right? So and they spent like billions of dollars, right? Um, so they weren't afraid though. They were willing to bet it all and keep the mission of what do you call it, intergalactic human consciousness alive, right? Going to Mars is the first step. So you have to be willing to ship something that's not perfect, right? Yeah, like even cars, there's always improvements. They'll release one model this year that's safe and usable and reliable, and then they'll improve on it for the next year, and they keep on improving. And there's more and more iterations every single year. Um, so, but yeah, start talking to people now. Max, you gonna find a spot? Got Max here. Maxi boy. Yeah, so I think that's the key thing you know is start talking to your ideal customer right away. Right away. When you have the idea, interview them. Just say, hey, like, what are you experiencing about this certain thing? You know, I mean, let's just say you're, for my example, my ideal, I guess you could say user or customer would be an early stage, mission driven founder. Somebody who's building a company that they believe can impact potentially billions of lives in a positive way. So they believe they can change the world basically, right? And they're a solo founder who's trying to figure it out, maybe building on their own with like Cloud Code or something like that, or some other type of vibe coding, or maybe they're an engineer but they're solo, right? And they're building alone, and so they're going anyways. They're gonna build regardless. But one of the things though is that they're not visible, right? You could try X, you could try YouTube, like what I'm doing right now. But a lot of those, even what I'm doing right now, you don't see what I do behind. I could tell you about it, but you don't really like. You get some documentation, like of what I said I did yesterday, but it's not like a legible type of record of all the things that has happened since I started 301 days ago. And I can't ask it questions. I can only give like a kind of a summary to, let's say, ChatGPT or Claude or whatever type of LLM. Then ask me, like, get insight. That's why when you read, let's say you keep a journal or just any type of daily documentation of something. Um, when you look back, it does help you to reflect on, who you were, what you were doing, what your ambitions were, and how things kind of developed, right? Like right now, I'm reading Bill Gates' autobiography, um, and that he wrote, I think, last year, called Source Code, and it's really going into details of his like childhood, his grandparents, who his great grandparents were, then who his parents were, and like yeah, it's really interesting that he even put like pictures of like old pictures of of like who he like how he looked like when he like his family and some of the stuff that he talked about. And I think that's where you can derive stories from too, is like, yeah, pictures, like, oh, who is that, tell me a story about that person. So keeping like, you know documentation of your journey, um it's that's essentially, so that's the problem I'm solving for, is, yeah, these early stage solo founders who are not visible, and to make them visible, you know so that they can ultimately fulfill their mission, because too many um, founders don't just fail, they die, they disappear quietly, you know because it's so easy right now, especially right now in the age of AI, to start a company, a one person company, and at the same time it's also easy to quit. It's easy to just like take the easy path and let that, whatever it is that you were trying to build, die silently, right? When it could have came to life if there was somebody that supported you or believed in you, or some sort of system. So for me, one of the reasons why I keep going, and I'm building towards this mission, is this daily documentation on on YouTube that started off 301 days ago. And so yeah, like 301 days ago, that's what kept me going. It's like, okay, I'm gonna document every day. I know how many days I've been building, so even knowing my how many days I've been building, my day number, um, gets me to keep going and focus on it. Knowing, okay, I have to build something. Like, look at this, 301 days, and I haven't generated any revenue for day number yet. None. Now I'm in the process of doing that. Finally put like some. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Wait for a second. Hold on. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, so now there's some monetization in day number now. I'm selling community tiers. Gonna do some demos, allow people to, watch over and support up to 50 founders in a group, in a community. They all get the pro tier, so unlimited prompting basically to day number about your journey and others. I'm working on generating your own autobiography, actually. Like, every 30 days, it'll automatically prompt you to generate one. And then basically, day number would be like your ghostwriter of like, so it's all based on your logs as well. So that's in the pro plan. You get that in the communities here. So every one of your members, people who are part of that, you can read their autobiography, really. Or you can ask their journey any question, or you can get a total summary of, what it is that your group is currently doing, who's winning, who's doing the best, where should I allocate my money, where should I put my attention, who needs help, how can I support someone, who can I connect them to, right? Those are some of the things that you'd want to do. And guess what? The more support that these people give as investors or VCs, KYGO6 says, "Do you remember me?" Yes, yes. Welcome, welcome. Yes, I'm with my boy Maxi. What's up, Max? We're almost done. But yeah, so that's the problem I'm solving. So it's like you have to talk to the only, and the thing is too, even with me, I still have to talk to more founders every single day. Like that's my main goal. Is like who can I support, who can I help, and how can I help them. I think I have to get back to the basics about that, you know. And so, and you have to talk to those people. It's like who can I help? Okay, let's just say for me, it's the early stage founders, mission-driven founders who believe they can change the world with what they're building. Okay, cool. How can I help them? Right? And that's what I have to ask. Is like how can I support you, help you? Right? KYGO6 says, yo, 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 what's going on? I don't even know if I need a hood right now because it's kind of like just misting. Yo, KYGO6 says, yo. Like it's, look at this, it's raining. You can see. All right, take a little bit of a detour here. Oh yeah. What he likes to do, our boy. Come on, let's go. All right, guys. Um, so yeah, so that's the benefit. So now what I was saying is that earlier about the journey, documenting your journey. It's like, man, there's been many times where I wanted to quit, but the main thing that kept me going and not disappear is doing this daily, keeping track of how many days I've been building. So knowing my day number, documenting honestly every single day, even if nothing happened that day, right? And then sharing that publicly, knowing that at least maybe one person will see this, and knowing that kept me going. So just that simple act is my thesis of like how it can compound to help you to fulfill your mission with what you're building. Now I've given you a way to do that in a simple way. You don't have to video. You don't have to use video like me. You can just I'm gonna try to make huh? Look at that, Maxi boy. Yeah. So come on. Yeah. So yeah, that's my bet. My bet is that daily documentation of your journey in an honest way will lead to everything else. So day number is like, so yeah, you have to talk to your users, talk to the people. That's what I'm doing right now, is just like say, hey, would you mind exchanging feedback? Like, would you be open to exchanging feedback on what we're building? Because I'm building a relationship with founders, so I'm going to support. I'm also a founder as well. And we're just exchanging. Of course, as a founder, it's like, yeah, hey, like I always want honest feedback. Like that's what, so even here on these streams, like if somebody says something, whatever, it's just another facet of way of looking at something, another perspective, right? So what we got here. Oh wow. Sometimes you have to just stay still and recognize what's around you. Listen to the nature. See that, Max? What do you see? What do you see? What do you see? What are you looking at? All right, let's go. Come on, let's go. What are you guys up to today? Anyways, what's happening for you guys on a Sunday or whatever part of the world you're coming from? That'd be cool. Wajhat Azim F8N says hi. Wajhat Azim F8N says you from Canada. Canada. I'm living here in Canada. How about you? Where are you guys calling in from? We got people on the Magic Jordan 33 show. Magic Jordan 33 show. So yeah, where you guys go? Oh, Pakistan, nice. Wajat Azim F8N says Pakistan. Yeah, that's cool. What's the weather out right? What's the weather out there right now? Like mine is, look at this, all rainy, misty, wet. Yeah, what's the weather out there where you guys are from? Oh, there's a squirrel. Max. Max and the squirrel. Max and the squirrel. Oh. All right. Yeah. So, well, thank you guys for tuning in. Give a shout out to everybody that commented here. Wajat Azim F8N KYG06. Thank you guys, and anybody else that tuned in. That's it. And make sure to like and subscribe. And hit the notification bell because I go live every single day. Sometimes I do it most of the time I'm doing it in this format, in real life, IRL. Other times I'll do it on a desktop. So we'll see. Definitely want to do more magic and like conferences as well. I did get an inquiry. Oh yeah, I did get an inquiry. Yeah, last night I just saw. I remember now. A text of somebody requesting to do a magic gig. So let's see. But more so like conferences, like with that art, where I'm gonna meet other founders, other builders, other people who are building. Literally what I'm holding in my hand right now was built by somebody who had an idea to revolutionize the way that we communicate, the way that we connect. I couldn't have dreamed of this, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, right? If I was like my parents in the 90s, like even before that, when they were growing up in the 70s, like you wouldn't have dreamed of having a phone where you could talk to people anywhere around the world in an instant. Like, look, from Canada to Pakistan, that's crazy, you know? That's magic, right? And I want to discover other people who are creating this magic to come. Like that's actually, hidden, right? There's so many different, like, me, I'm a magician, if you guys didn't know that. For the last 23 years, I've been practicing and performing magic. And there's always a lot of magicians try to find, like, the newest trick, something that hasn't been seen before. Sorry, hold on one second. All right, welcome back. Sorry, guys. Left there for a second. All right, guys. Anyways, I gotta hop off, but thank you guys again for tuning in. Day number 301. I'm out.